Friday morning, I took the day off. I need to take the van in for some warranty maintenance. So what happened is that the veneer that goes around the cabinets started peeling off on almost all of them. So fortunately, it's covered by the warranty. So Winnebago's taking care of it through the dealership at Mike Thompson's in Colton. And I figured, well, I'll take the opportunity to take the bike for a ride out there. When I first bought this bike, I did load it. I did load it on the van. That's how I transported it home. So, okay, I left it from the wheel. Yep, here we go. No problem. Okay, I got it up there. Okay, now it's just a matter of pushing it up. There we go. Okay, it's up. All right, we're good. Like I said last time, this is how I transported it when I bought it. There we go. This is the way that I think this is going to work out. I don't want to rely on having the foot peg hold it in place. So I got this strap there. It's tied to the front. I just rolled it up and I strapped it to the front seat. Even if I had a passenger in the front seat, it wouldn't affect them, and somebody could still sit here. Somebody could still sit on these chairs. And this is just for like a quick load. This isn't how I would normally do it. I would just load it on a hitch carrier, but it looks like it's solid there. It'll be fine. It's got space when it closes. Yep. Right there. I feel safe transporting it like this. It isn't going to go anywhere. But I had issues with the cabinets. The veneer that goes around them started delaminating on most of the cabinets. Fortunately, that is something that is covered by the warranty. Mostly it's just cosmetic, but it started happening before it was even 1 year old. All those issues occurred within the year. I got this van back in January 2024, and I was able to put in the warranty claim about a week before the year was up. So the dealership is still covering the repairs under the warranty. So as you can see, right next to me over my shoulder, I got my Surron. In the previous clips, I showed how I loaded it and secured it. That's just me being lazy, not bringing the hitch carrier and just loading it into the RV. But since it's just me in the van today, I figured I got the space in here to do it. It's not going to bother anybody. Besides that, when I get to the dealership, I wasn't sure if the hitch carrier was going to be somewhat of a nuisance for them, getting in the way, especially getting into the back doors. All around, it was just convenient just to bring it like this. Because it is an e-bike, I couldn't put it like into a first gear or something to hold it in place. Whenever you roll an e-bike, there is a certain amount of resistance, so kind of counting on that to help. Besides that, its length is just inches away from the width of the van from one side from one wall to the other. It's good to know that I can do this, because there are some places that I'm not going to want to leave the bike on a hitch carrier or leave it outside. So I can put it in here. It'll be nice and secure. But it looks like I'm going to be limited to one and maybe a maximum of two, unless I remove the back seat. I'm might be able to fit 2 more. So right now I have the 2 Surrons and the E-Ride Pro. So I'm curious to see if I could do that, if I could load all 3. That would still give me room for passengers and 3 e-bikes. Colton, San Bernardino area. That is a place that I have a lot of history with. I worked down in San Bernardino in the Colton area for about 15 years. I had to commute from the high desert for that amount of time, 15 years commuting. But that's when I got most of my experience riding motorcycles. I had been riding bikes before that, but then it became a daily thing, commuting every day. And if any of you are familiar with the high desert heading down to San Bernardino, you have to go through the Cajon Pass, which is a I-15. Most people are familiar with the Cajon Pass when they're going to Las Vegas. It's a heavily congested highway. I've lived in the high desert for about 19 years, and during all that time they have always been working on the Cajon Pass I-15, changing lanes, improving lanes, just constantly working on it, and that contributes to the traffic congestion. Add to that the amount of trucks that come through here, especially during the weekdays, and they're on the slow lane and then they move over into the other lanes, which causes slowdowns. And then there's the 138 junction. There's just a lot of accidents, car accidents, big rigs, motorcycle accidents. Sometimes it's just due to the way that people are driving. Sometimes it's due to reckless driving. Sometimes it's due to the bad weather. There was once, a few years back, there was a fire that actually burned up a bunch of cars. People just abandoned their cars and they burned on the highway. So I figured I'm heading down to Colton, San Bernardino. I might as well take my Surron. I don't have any specific areas that I'm thinking of going, but I might go to where I used to work. I hear that building got demolished. Also, some of my favorite eateries down there. There's this really good Thai place called Rose Apple. Peruvian food also. I'm gonna go check that out. That's in Loma Linda. Hopefully, if everything goes as planned, I'll be doing a lot of riding around. Like I said, I don't have a specific itinerary. I'm just really just gonna wander around in San Bernardino, Colton, and see what's changed with the place. I actually haven't been down here in a couple years. Ever since I changed jobs, I don't come down here very often, but it is a bit nostalgic. You know, I did work there a decade and a half, so that's a lot of memories. A lot of things happened during those years, and you know, life is different now for me. You know, I'm only 10 minutes away from work. I don't have to commute. So some of the footage I'm going to be taking is going to be using this. It is a little something I built a while back. I first used it when I went to Insomniac Escape Halloween, and it came out pretty good. So this is what I'm using. It's a combination of, I used to use a GoPro back then. Now it's, you know, I've just been using the Insta360 Go 2. That's what I'm using right now to record. But I just got a pretty firm piece of plastic and I cut it to size so that it would fit into my hydro pack. And this is just PVC, 2 elbows, PVC pipe, and I put some grip tape on the end. And it so happens that and this is a GoPro selfie stick. It comes with a tripod on the bottom, but if you take it out, it leaves a hole. I mean, you're supposed to use it like this, where you put your tripod there, but took the opportunity that now that I have a hole down there, I could actually make it fit into this. And then right here, it's just a matter of extending it and put it into the backpack. I do like this because it gives you that perspective, like if you're kind of like a video game. And at the top of it, this is how I'm gonna secure it. The Insta360 Go2 goes in here, so twist that into place. Put this into the GoPro accessory. Okay, this is what else I brought in my bag. You probably wouldn't think it, but I actually brought the second battery. I have two Surrons, so I figured might as well bring the second battery. I'm not sure how much I'm going to be riding around, so just in case I don't have any range anxiety. This thing is heavy though. It's a little bit over 25 pounds. I think it's about 26 pounds, so that's a lot of weight to carry. Also have my iPad in there. doing the tire check. And I believe this is here, yeah. This is the Santa Anita Trail. Okay, so now I am a few blocks away where I used to work at on 3rd Street. So I'm heading down 3rd Street. I'm gonna head south on E, try to get that Santa Anita trail, bike trail again, head back over to Colton. The camera got cut off, so technical issues here. I'm back on the Santa Anita bike trail.